Okay, good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on the Q3 release highlights, which is everything that we released here at Fixflo in the last 3 months. So we're looking at July, August, and September this morning. My name's Jessica, and it's great to have so many of you on here today. And I'd like to just wish you all a very warm welcome and thank you for joining me and taking the time to go through this webinar with me today. Excellent. So before we get started, I just want you guys to see a quick agenda of what we're going to be going over today so that you know exactly what is to come. So the first key improvement that I want to go through with you is the SMS notifications, which is so exciting. So I can't wait to take you through that first of all. Then I'm going to be going through a brand new feature that we have called issue tags. And then we have a number of improved features as well. So we have the way issues are within a property profile that has now changed. The way you merge properties, that has also now changed. We've had some really exciting updates to our planned maintenance feature, which is available for Fixflo professional clients only. We have a new way that you can keep occupiers in the loop with workflows. We have 2 new dashboard panels to help you keep on track of all of your issues. There's been some workflow changes when it comes to updating contractors as well. So I want to let you know about that. And finally, you can now add multiple occupier profiles, which is something that was kind of widely requested, if you like. Excellent, guys. Before we go through any of that, I just want to tell you guys about the Fixflo Academy, which is a clear training platform which features on-demand videos, a live webinar. It's not this webinar, it's another webinar. We do run them every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. It's got downloadable takeaway slides, quizzes, and also you'll receive a certificate upon completion. And it's here to help you and your team kind of learn about what I call core features of Fixflo. We are extending this where in the next month, we will be also releasing a course on planned maintenance as well. But for now, we've got this kind of core features course, if you like. Now, this is completely free of charge. It's available for lettings clients only, but I am going to release a very quick poll to see if this is something you would like to sign up to. Perfect. I'm just going to tell you a bit about our releases. So how often do we release? Well, we release every 2 weeks. So we actually release really, really often. These releases include new features, improvements, and also bug fixes as well. So there's a lot that goes into a release. And if you have raised a bug with us and that gets fixed, we will, of course, be in touch with you. So what to look out for? So some of you I can see are sometimes reading the release notes, which is fantastic, but there are things to look out for. So we will email often if there is a release. There will sometimes also be a pop-up within the product itself telling you about the releases as well. And we always publish our release notes on help.fixflo.com, which is our help site, which has a number of articles and also videos. All of our release notes are currently written articles. We don't currently do videos for them, but I believe it is something that we are hopefully looking at in the next year, or like in 2022, to hopefully get other release notes in like more video form, which might be easier for you to kind of digest. Excellent. So the first thing I said I would talk about today is SMS notifications. Now, of course, there are benefits to this. You can currently send SMS notifications to your occupiers, which is really, really exciting. And the benefits of sending SMS notifications are, it's a better way of keeping your occupiers in the loop. Texts are also hard to miss. So I'm sitting here now, my phone's next to me. I'm sure you guys are sitting there with your phone next to you. If you get a text, it's almost impossible to miss that, whereas emails can be much harder to kind of see. So or keep on track of, if you like. So please, SMS notifications really are a great way to inform your occupiers of things. You can choose your notifications as well. So you can literally choose which notifications go out. You can turn them on and off very easily. And also it increases the amount of occupier feedback you receive. So we have had or heard from our client base that actually If you have SMS notifications turned on and you're turning them on for feedback has actually increased by 30 to 40%. So that just shows how kind of helpful texts are being, and just shows their success. So I'm going to go through the SMS notifications you can turn on in just a moment. And texts were 6p per text. Actually, they are now down to 4p. So we've reduced the price of texts. So I can't wait to show you how you can turn these notifications on. Notifications that you can turn on, just to show you. So you can turn on a text to send to the occupier when a job is instructed onto a contractor. You can also send out a notification when a contractor sets an appointment, when the occupier confirms that appointment, when an appointment is due shortly, and also when feedback is requested. So first question you've probably got is, well, how do I turn on these text notifications? First of all, you will need to agree to the T's and C's, as this is an additional feature. And as I mentioned, they are now 4p per text. To turn on the T's and C's, you will need to be an administrator user, first of all, and you'll need to click here on Setup and then click here on Settings. From Settings, you'll want to click on this T's and C's tab. And just to let you know, for those of you that would like to sign up to the Fixflo Academy, you will need to agree to the terms and conditions before you can sign yourselves up. And you will also come here and I will send you an email on how to do that. Once you're in the T's and C's tab, there will be an additional feature, SMS, and you will basically need to agree to these T's and C's first and accept those. So once they are accepted, like mine are here, you will then be able to turn on the notifications. So just a quick FYI, as soon as you turn on as soon as you agree, to the T's and C's, that does not mean texts will go out. Texts will only go out once you have turned those notifications on. So once this has been agreed to, again, you'll need to be an administrator user because you'll want to stay in Setup and Settings. And this time you'll want to click here on Notifications. Within Notifications, we have got notifications for different types of parties. So we've got agents, landlords, occupiers, contractors, external users, and also leaseholders. And just to let you know, the SMS notifications can currently go out to your occupiers. You will then want to open up occupier notification defaults, and by doing so, you will be able to see all of the notifications which you can send out to your occupiers. Now, I'm going to go through this in a bit more detail later because these have actually extended a little bit in order to help you keep your occupiers in the loop. But just to show you, your notification type sits here. And as well as having the email notification type, which every single agent has, you will be able to see the SMS notification type once those T's and C's have been agreed to. Here on the setting, you can change that to either send for private issues or send for private and communal. I think it's just actually turn on and off. I think this is my particular test system. But yes, you can turn these on. And again, it's 4p per text, and once the notification is on, then it will always go out when you hit that part of the workflow for that particular occupier, as long as their number is in their occupier profile. Guys, again, remember it is 4p per text and you can click save. There are also 2 reports which you can actually keep an eye on your SMS notifications with. So if you literally click on reports and go into SMS here, you can keep an eye on your history and also the summary of types and costs. If you do feel like the costs are racking up, of course, you can then, remove SMS notifications as well. So that can be done again within Setup, Settings, and making the amendment. Again, any amendment that you make, just remember to press save, otherwise that will not save for you. Just to let you guys know as well, we do have an occupier survey, which about 200 occupiers actually fill out every single month. We have a little support meeting where we kind of track how happy occupiers are. And one big frustration that occupiers actually do have is that they find it frustrating when they get ignored, or they do sometimes feel ignored once they've reported a maintenance issue. They feel like the communication just isn't there. So having these SMS notifications turned on really could make a difference to your occupier happiness and could drive them to Fixflo even more. Excellent. A few questions have come through, which is fantastic. I'm now going to move on to issue tags, which is a new feature that we've introduced in the last quarter. And I do think it's something which is really exciting and could make a difference to how you use Fixflo. So within each and every issue itself, you can now add a particular tag. So if I click into my reported issues to do here, and I go into an issue here, at the top of the page where you see all of this information just here, there is an additional section here now called Add Tag. Now, like I say, this is new. And if you click here, you can basically tag the issue with something. Now, use cases here could be, for example, major works. You could add in locations. You could even add in statuses, which we do not have here at Fixflo. For example, the issue is with an occupier. So if I was to add with an occupier, I would add that there. And once you've added it, you must press enter so that it's added like this, okay? And then again, you must, of course, press save. And you can see that tag is now added to that issue. So if, for example, there's an issue that's come in and you've sent a comment off to the occupier and you're waiting for information for them, you could then have that tag that issue, with a tag like this. You can add more than one tag to an issue. So like that. So you can add multiple tags to a particular issue. The one thing I'll just say is that you must of course remember to remove tags when they're no longer relevant. So with our issue statuses, of course, they automatically update as you use the workflows. Tags will not. So it must be something that you remember to remove once you've added it if it's no longer relevant. Why are tags great? Well, it allows you to basically group issues together. So if I wanted to search for all of my issues, which are with an occupier, I could click here on issues, issue search. And within my issue search, there's this little classic drop-down filter, which we have available on most of our searches, which allows you to narrow down your particular search. When I click on that, within these drop-down options, there is a section for tag just here. And if I start typing, you can see here with an occupier appears, I could click on search and that would then show me all of my issues, which are with an occupier, again, allowing me to group those together. But like I say, if any tags no longer are relevant, you must click into that tag and actually remove it. And again, press save for that to remove. Another really good time that issue tags could be brilliant is if you have multiple dashboards set up on your system. Now, multiple dashboards is an additional feature, guys. So it is a paid for feature, but it allows you to have, as the name would suggest, more than one dashboard. So you could flick between different dashboards and you can actually create your very own custom panels. So you're not limited to the panels that we've provided for you on the dashboard. You can make your very own ones. So you could have, for example, a panel which are to do with certain tags, such as major works, issue is with occupier. And then you'd be able to see on your dashboard how many issues have got that tag, which again could be brilliant. It is an additional feature, but if you think multiple dashboards would be something for you, please get in touch with us. You can reach out by contacting support@fixflo.com, and you can also reach out via Need Help, which sits just here, and contact us here. Let us know. Of course, we'll give you a demonstration first of all, and we'll send you all the pricing, but multiple dashboards is a really good way for you to, like I say, build your own custom dashboard panels and track the metrics that you want to track. So please let us know if that's something you're interested in. Again, we'll be in touch. We can send you some information and we can set up a demonstration. Okay, excellent. The way issues are viewed in a property has also changed. So if you click into properties here and you go into a particular property like this, there used to be like an issues tab that has now been removed, and we have got your issues showing here. So we've got your open issues showing, so you can see a total number of open issues for this particular property, and also your reactive issues in the last 12 months. Just to let you know, if you're looking for closed issues, you will need to click into the open issues button here, and you can amend this from is open from yes to either any or no. And of course, you've got this classic drop down, which again allows you to search from within this property as well for issues of perhaps assigned to a particular agent, issues raised between a certain date as well. So lots and lots of different options for you there. But I just wanted to show you how issues have changed and how you can search for closed issues from within a property. Merging properties as well. So if I click into properties just here, and if I had two properties which were very, very similar, what I could do then is I could click into a property here. Let me go into this one actually. And if you do have duplicate properties, guys, you must make sure your data is up to date and correct. Data will be explained in more detail as well within the Fixflo Academy for those of you that would like to sign up or are already signed up. You can merge by clicking on the addresses tab, and then you'll be taken to merge addresses. So just to let you know, you can now select multiple properties to merge together and merge selected addresses here, making it much quicker for you. And you can also, for example, here, click on merge, move next, and that will merge the two properties and take you to the next property here within your properties kind of order, if that makes sense, within your property list, I should have said. So that is two kind of ways that we've improved merge properties. If, of course, there's nothing to merge on the next property, you can simply click next, and you will then come to the next property where you can either move on next or merge and then move next. So for those of you with any data issues, this can be a real kind of lifesaver because it will make things a lot quicker for you. And just to let you know, if you do feel like you are struggling because you're getting lots of duplicate properties being created by occupiers, which shouldn't be, the one top tip I would give you, and you will need to be an administrator user to see this, you will need to click here on Setup, Settings, and I would highly recommend that you always have the setting for address search option, only display uploaded properties. This means that occupiers will not be able to create duplicates as such, and your property data will be much cleaner. The one thing I will say is if you do have this setting turned on, which again is recommended, that you make sure that you are adding properties when you take on new properties. Otherwise, occupiers will not be able to report issues against those addresses. And that's another occupier frustration, which they do kind of voice when they fill in that survey I was talking about earlier. Okay, excellent. Planned maintenance. So planned maintenance is a feature which is available for Fixflo professional clients only. And I did have a featured webinar on this last Tuesday. If any of you were there, I do hope you found it helpful if you've either did come along or have watched the recording. Also, as I said to you before, with the Academy, I am building a planned maintenance course at the moment. All of the videos are pretty much there. So hopefully by the beginning of November, like the 1st or 2nd, we will be releasing that to everybody so you can learn all about planned maintenance in a really kind of, set way, and it will be on-demand learning for you. So with plan maintenance, we've made some really exciting improvements. Now, the first thing we've improved is you can, in fact, now add an occupier to your planned maintenance service events. So it's clearer now for contractors when they're trying to arrange an appointment. So if I click here on planned maintenance and click here on properties, if I click into a property just here, now, when you click into a property from planned maintenance, it will take you directly through to your works planner, which shows you all of your service events only for this particular property. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look at this pending event, which is going to automatically create for me on the 24th of November. If I click into it just here, the first thing actually I want to take you into is that this is a gas safety certificate only. Now, if I go to, planned maintenance, I'm just backtracking a little bit here. If I click on planned maintenance and then go to event templates, you will need to make sure this setting is actually turned on within the event template first. So if I go to my gas safety certificate only just here, It's this here, this setting, add occupier to issue. This must be ticked in order for this to pull through to the contractor. And just to let you know, you can also share additional occupier details with the contractor as well. So they would be the related occupiers. With regards to the occupier that is added, this is the most recent occupier who has most recently either been added to Fixflo or has reported a maintenance issue. So as long as this is ticked, if I now go back to the works planner, I do apologize, of that particular property, and I go into this pending event, you can in fact, so you can either wait for the instruction date, which you would usually do because of course, automatically these issues will be created for you. Or you can always instruct this if you want to instruct it beforehand. Now, obviously, I'm on a webinar. I want to show you how this looks from the contractor point of view. So I'm going to instruct this issue now. The issue is then created off the back of the service event, and the issue sits in the issue instructions tab just up here. And this issue has gone to the issue status, job awarded, awaiting appointment date. And the reason being is because I had a contractor attached to that service event. The contractor will then get an email that looks like this. Okay, so it says something like, "Dear Mr. Pepper, you have been allocated a job," and it has all of the details on it, including the occupier contact details. So that's all showing here. Also, they can click here on enter job start date, where they can then log in to Fixflo. And from here, on the next steps tab, the occupier details are actually showing here. Before they were actually very hidden and they were all within the detail tab, but now it's showing here. So it's really, really clear for the contractor to see the occupier details, whether they are on the desktop version like I am now, or if they are on the contractor app. If you also shared the occupier details, which I had ticked, on the detail tab, the other occupier details will also show here under occupiers at this property. I do hope that makes sense and that you're happy with this. It really is a big improvement for any of you that spoke to contractors before with planned maintenance issues. It was extremely hidden. Perfect. Okay, excellent. So I hope that makes sense. The other big planned maintenance improvement that we've made is you can now easily share your certificates, as long as contractors add them, with other parties. Now, again, this setting is actually within the event template setting. And because there are settings within event templates, you must actually be an administrator user now in order to see event templates just here. If for this example, I go back into gas safety certificate and click into here, again, this is for the event template for this particular service event. And it's this setting here, certificate documents view permissions. So it's really easy now for you to share with other parties. So you've got your contractor, occupier, landlord, and external user to share the certificates with them. And you can also now add a notification to go out to let the to let the landlord and the occupier know. So as long as these are turned on and the notifications turned on, that notification will then go out. So in order to set up the notification, as well as this setting here, again, you will need administrator rights, and you will click here on setup, click on settings. And again, you'll want to go into the notification settings tab here, and you've got one for landlord. So within landlord notification defaults, it's this setting just here, sent when a certificate document is added to a completed service event at a property. That again must be set to send. By default, it will, by the way, be set to send, and the share certificate document within the event template setting, that will be turned on for all statutory events. Non-statutory events, they will not be sent to share. So that's the landlord one, and the occupier one is just here as well. And like I said before, they will both by default be set to send, but you can of course turn them off if you want to as well. So if you've got all of those things turned on, which by default they should be, again for statutory events, and these notifications turned on, I'm going to show you what happens when the service event is closed. So if I go back into planned maintenance here, and I'm going to go into a property just here, I have got here an instructed event. So in the issue here, it's this job has actually been completed. So now as the agent, I will need to close the issue. Just to let you guys know, with plan maintenance, you can either have service events with awaiting review turned on or awaiting review turned off. If awaiting review is turned on, then once the IS number, which I have here, is closed down, you will then need to go in manually and close down the service event and, well, complete it really. If awaiting review is turned off, then once this IS number has been completed, then the service event will automatically complete and there's nothing left for you to do. So with this IS number, it does have a related service event, which shows here, because this is a planned maintenance issue and it's been created off the back of a service event. If I click here on close issue, the service event will now either be awaiting review or completed, depending on whether or not I have got awaiting review turned on or off. With this case, I've got it turned on. So this has gone to awaiting review and the certificate will only go out and the notification will only go out once the service event has been completed. So in this case, I will need to click into the service event, go to the completion tab and complete this event. Once that has been done, this is the email that will go out to, for example, the landlord or the occupier. Bear with me just 1 second. Just waiting for that email to go through now. Okay, perfect. Here we go. So this is what it will look like. So this is an example of what the email will look like that goes out to the occupier. It looks exactly the same really for the landlord. It will say something along the lines of, Dear Mandy Hills, a certificate document has been added for, and then it will have the address here. Of course, it will have your logo at the top of the screen here. View the attached document or click here for a list of your property documents. So the document will be sitting here within the email itself, and they can click here and log in to see within their property profile, they will be able to see the documents sitting here. So that's a really good way for you to share that with both occupiers and landlords. And I wanted to make you aware of that. Next, I'm going to go through how you can keep occupiers better in the loop with workflows. So again, guys, you'll need administrator rights for this because we're looking at setup and settings, and we're going to go into notifications just here. Within notifications, we will again want to open up the occupier notification defaults because we're looking at how to keep occupiers better in the loop. And if you do not want to use SMS notifications, that's absolutely fine. We do have a number of emails and they have been extended. So something quite exciting now is when a job is instructed onto a contractor, there is a default email which is set to again send to go out to your occupier to let them know that actually the issue is now being progressed. And again, that's just helping you to keep your occupiers happy and give them a better experience of Fixflo. So just to very quickly show you what this might look like, if I send this particular issue onto a contractor, so I'm just going to instruct the works. Again, if you're interested in understanding workflows and things better, remember you have always got the Fixflo Academy, which will go through workflows. And there's also a live webinar on there where we'll explain that even more. So once you've done that, an email will then go out to the occupier, Molly here, and it will let her know that actually this has now been sent on to a contractor. Just waiting for that to come through. Okay, that will come through in just a second. Sorry, I think with this particular property, I've got so many occupiers and that kind of certificate documents still trying to go out. So I do apologise. I will get to that in a moment. In the meantime, whilst I'm waiting for that to come through, I'm just going to show you a few new dashboard panels that we have available for you, which you can, of course, make use of. So if I go to add a whole new panel to my dashboard, just to let you know, you can view your issue statuses and your issues requiring attention by status dashboard panels now, as well as using the color grid, a bar chart and a pie chart, you can also use these bubbles. So to view this properly, I'm going to add that dashboard panel to my dashboard like this. And you can see that it will show you, for example, the statuses, and there'll be a bubble next to them on the left, and that bubble will have a number in it. You can, of course, scroll through these bubbles as well to see more. And you can, of course, extend the dashboard panels as well now so that you can see more without having to scroll as much. So there's lots of ways to see your issues requiring attention by status and your issues by status. And this is a whole new way that we've just shown you now. Just to show you, that email has now come through to the occupier. So again, this is if you send an email, if you instruct a job to a contractor, you can easily keep your occupiers in the loop. By default, this is set to send, and it will let them know this. So that is really, really good, so that they can see the status of the issue and they can see that this has now been awarded to a contractor to fix. This is, by the way, for both reactive and planned works. Okay, there are two final things I want to go through with you. I just want to let you know that if you have an issue with a contractor, like the issue I just sent through now, if I was to make any changes to this particular issue, so if I was to say, for example, edit the instruction details, and I was to add instruction notes, and scroll down and press save, the contractor will actually now receive an email to let them know that there's been an update. This is again new, so that contractors are kept better in the loop. So they can now see the new instruction notes just here, and they can see that there's been an update. The final thing that I want to show you is that you can now add multiple occupiers profiles onto Fixflo. And again, this is something that was widely requested. So if you click on people and occupiers, if you do have, for example, some people have, they have a setup where they may have the same person reporting maintenance issues for different properties. And rather than it just looking like the occupier is changing property all the time and moving, because of course it will update their property within their profile, you can now add an occupier at two different properties, and they'll have two different profiles. In order to do this, you must make sure that you have an external reference for that particular occupier. So with this occupier, we've got Megan Peacock. If I copy her email address and add an external reference and press save, I'm now going to add another Megan Peacock, and you can see that she will be able to be added again. Ooh. It's because I didn't add. So now sorry, I do apologize. Now you need to add an external reference too. And once you've done that, that will then add for you. So now if I go to my occupiers and I search for that particular email address, she actually comes up twice. Again, this is something that was widely requested by clients because they wanted to be able to add someone twice. You must always make sure that the external reference is added, like I didn't before, and that's why I didn't add. So they both must have an external reference. Okay, excellent, guys. I've now gone through all of the kind of major releases that we released in the last quarter. I do hope it's been helpful to have a look at kind of what we've released. I have just released a very quick poll. Excellent. So the first question is from Kirsty. Hi, Kirsty. Hi there. Will a landlord be able to see planned maintenance for a property? Thanks. So you can send them their certificate, and something really exciting, which is coming. It's not here just yet. But again, if you have administrator rights and click on setup and settings, if you stay within the issue settings tab, again, this isn't here yet, but it is coming soon. there's a planned maintenance setting, which is currently blank. This is going to be added with, would you like to share your compliance matrix with your landlords? This can either be turned on or off. It cannot be changed on a per landlord basis. It is coming. It could be coming even next week, or it will be in the kind of 2 weeks after that. I'm not 100% sure on the timeline, but that is something that is coming up, Kirsty. So we're excited about that. It will be available, of course, on their system, which they can log into, and they'll be able to see how compliant you are being for their properties. Really good question. That is coming soon. And I will be talking about that, of course, in my next release webinar, which will be in January, telling you all about the releases for Q4. The next question is from Charlotte. Hi, Charlotte. Contractor app. We are having issues with new jobs being allocated and jobs being closed down. For example, 100 open jobs, but 99 have been closed down. This still shows as open and needs to be actioned. Do they need to do something there setting to stop it? It's frustrating as they find it hard to know which jobs are actually closed. Of course, I completely see your frustration there. Admittedly, over the last kind of few weeks, we have had, unfortunately, a few problems with the contractor app. We have actually invested in an app developer who is actively trying to improve the app. So, you should start to see real improvements coming through soon. If you could please contact us through Need Help Just Here and contact us, we will probably ask for a few more details so we can get that over to the development team. If there is a bug, of course, we'll need to get that fixed. Charlotte, if you could please get in touch. We're also happy to speak to contractors directly as well. Next question is from Ben. Hello, Ben. How does the contractor add the certificate? Can you show us an example, please? Of course. So I'm guessing you're talking about planned maintenance. So if I click on planned maintenance and we go to properties, just going to go into Fixflo, which I always use. And I'm going to go to a pending event. I'm going to instruct this. Okay, so this will now have gone out to my contractor. Bear with me 1 second. This actually is it. Okay, sorry about that. So here we go. So the contractor gets an email, and here, of course, they can log in. Once they log in, first thing that really they should be doing, Ben, is they should be adding an appointment date. They can, of course, bypass this and add and mark this as complete if they've already done the job. For this example, I'm going to add an appointment date quickly because I think it's nice to add. And once that's added, then they can mark the job as complete just here. Now, when they're marking the job as complete, first up here, the job completion date, that will pull through based on the date they gave before. They can, if they want to, add a job duration. And of course, you can make this a mandatory if you want to within your settings. Feedback to agent is optional, as are completion photos and documents. And here they have the certificate documents. Unfortunately, you cannot make this mandatory. This is, of course, optional. And they would literally click here to upload, where they would then be able to find the certificate and upload it, and it would then add here. So of course, the contractor must add a certificate here in order for you to then send it on to a third party. They can then choose their invoice method. Of course, you can amend this as well. This is all within your settings, and would say whether or not they want to provide costs, but this is how they upload that certificate and then press mark as complete. You will be able to see if the certificate has been added or not as well. And if it's not been, you can always get in touch with the contractor and ask for it so that you upload it before you continue and complete the service event, so that something actually does send out to the parties that you want to send out to. I hope that helps, Ben. The final question on the Q&A, there are some in the chat as well, so I'll get to those as well, is from Cheryl. Can you advise how to send the SMSs through Fixflo? It is set up, but I've no idea how you send them from and where. Okay, good question, Cheryl. Thank you for that. Just to let you know, that all works as part of the workflow. So if, for example, you have got a notification set up here, and you have a notification, for example, for a text to go out when the job is instructed onto the contractor, and that is set to send, then as soon as you use that part of the workflow, just like the emails automatically go out, you will be able, that text will just go out and it will sit in the audit tab. So you don't have to manually do anything. As soon as this notification is turned on, it will just send out for you automatically. I hope that makes sense, Cheryl. And Ben, you're very, very welcome. I'm now going to go through the questions in the chat. Another one from Cheryl. Oh, Cheryl, you've already asked in the Q&A as well how to send SMSs. So I hope that does make sense. If not, please go back in the Q&A. And remember, guys, you can always reach out through Need Help just here if anything is bothering you or you haven't got any questions. However, if you do go through Need Help here, the very best actually place to start is always through Got a Question, because we've got loads and loads of articles and videos to help you. So you'll probably get the answer actually quicker there, but you can always contact us here as well. Okay, the next question is, I've had a contractor say that the contractor app will not update. It's showing previous jobs. Okay, that's something somebody else also mentioned, Ewan. If you can please go through Need Help, contact us here, let us know. I'd love to know more details so that we can get this resolved, because it should just show the current jobs, of course, that are open. Daniel, we have found that on the app, if you go into individual issues and pull down to refresh, they disappear. Okay, Daniel, that's great to know. Thank you for letting us know that. I do apologize, of course. We will look into that. It should just update. So that's a really good top tip from Daniel. Thank you for that, but we should look at that. Next question, how can you set up an external user? This is the final question that's come in at the moment. Well, if you are going on to the Academy, this will be explained, but you can click here on People, External Users, and simply add an external user just here. Just to let you know, if you do use a workflow and go through the external user, absolutely everything will be dealt with using the comments tab, because it's not like a workflow as such where it's an obvious next step. So everything then will be worked through using the comments tab. Nice and easy to set up an external user though. People, external users, and just click add here. Excellent, guys. I really hope this has been helpful today. Thank you again for joining me this morning. I really do appreciate all of your time. Thank you to everyone who also answered the poll. I will be sending you, if you wanted the to go on the Academy, I'll be sending you an email. And also, if you wanted to use the SMS feature, I will be in touch with you as well and turning on your T's and C's so that you can use that. Guys, it's been a real pleasure going through this with you this morning. My name's Jessica. I work here at Fixflo as the training manager. Have a lovely rest of the day and a fantastic weekend. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.